Pakistan program has been very defensive from day one. Let's go back to 1974 when India conducted first nuclear test, and it was named the Smiling Buddha. Strange name. I've not been able to understand how can a nuclear test be a smiling Buddha. That's number one. But this is the history of India-Pakistan nuclearization, and then on, obviously, Pakistan had to work. Many leaders came in Pakistani who worked on making Pakistan a nuclear-capable country. And then comes 1998. We all saw that in May, India yet another conducted the three nuclear tests, and obviously we had to follow it. So we have been reactive to the Indian plan since our last 52 years. The history is witness to it. And then obviously nuclear capability is of no use unless you can deliver the weapon, obviously. And I'm talking about the weaponization. You may have a nuclear weapon, but unless it is delivered with accuracy, reliability, and obviously in a very, very safe manner, it's of no use. So India and Pakistan both started to work on that. We have restrained ourselves to defensive posturing and defensive capability only. That is why I say that the best missile that we have, Shaheen or Ghauri, they do not have range more than about 2,500 kilometers, which only covers India. We have been very particularly, obviously, conscious of the fact that we do not need to, because beyond the continent, because we do not have any designs and plans to obviously take on any other country, irrespective of the political or geopolitical situation. So this is the capability that we have. We have a number of missiles, but for assured destruction, obviously, they are very capable. We do continue to progress in that. We innovate that for better safety, for making more accuracy, obviously, in that. That's all that I know about it, what we're going about, and it is nothing to do with the intercontinental ballistic missiles and ranging from 8,000 kilometers. That's not our mandate. This is a very valid observation that you brought out. You see, whenever you notice Pakistan becomes relevant as a stabilizing force in the region, Pakistan has become more relevant. You saw, particularly after May 2025, we have become a country which obviously cannot be ignored. Earlier, India might have thought that we are either less relevant or least relevant because of our political instability, economic struggle, and so many other things. But the performance of 2025 exhibited that we are not only a stabilizing country in the region, but also a responsible state. We very accurately and very religiously controlled the ladder of escalation on 10th May 2025. Even we pulled back on 6th and 7th night, we could have shot down more Indian jets because we just wanted to send a message of obviously a prohibitive price to India. So we played very responsibly. And there comes obviously now, again, you see that Iran, Israel, America war is on. Pakistan is probably one of the few countries, obviously all partners, all the stakeholders in this, they do trust Pakistan. Iran is very comfortable in talking to us. Saudi Arab is. We have good relations with President Trump and America at the moment. So all the countries are making Pakistan more valued, obviously, in the present crisis. So many forces, obviously, here or beyond our theater of operations, do not consider that Pakistan should become relevant and obviously should be engaged by America. So this is the campaign that I think as you rightly pointed out, that they wanted to link Pakistan with like a country like North Korea, which is not responsible or does not follow any sanction regime or bylaws. That is not the case. I was studying about this lady who's a director, Tulsi Gabbard. All the media is reporting that she's Indian, but my study says that she is from Hawaii, USA. Although she is by religious, she follows Hindu religion. But I'm not talking on the basis of religion. But this much I can confirm that she has a lot of association, and her favorite personality, political personality, is no other than Prime Minister Modi. So that's the kind of inspiration that she gets. Rest can be guessed. What I'm trying to highlight is that this is ill-timed talk, whatever, or narrative, because the world is already concerned with so many other worries, especially Middle East, Pakistan, India, oil prices going up, Russia, China, and even America is heavily engaged. Probably it's very ill-timed, and intentions can be known, obviously, as I said. there have always been some personalities who will spark these debates and start to make Pakistan obviously a scapegoat under the circumstances, possibly to release of some pressure, which obviously is being built on America and Israel at this, and that could be the only thing. You see, this is very strange, and the observation is very valid. If you go back to the last about 50 years of history, and particularly last about 25 years, you will notice that in nuclear proliferation breach has been reported by no other than International Atomic Energy Commission many times about India only, and not about Pakistan. Rather, if you look at, I have a number of documents in which the American think tanks, the American nuclear experts have said probably one of the safest mechanism of the nuclear control or management is of Pakistan. We keep projecting that, but you're right that off and on this comes. Let me tell you another thing. India has obviously taken a waiver from the nuclear supply group in 2008 to which enables India for a nuclear civil trade. That's very strange. That why do you want to do a civil trade with any country and get not now, but 2008 India got that special permission from or kind of waiver that we can do that. Pakistan has never got it because we do not have any such design that obviously we like to engage the nuclear trade with any country. You're right, but the unfortunate part is that India is more economically relevant to the countries, obviously, especially the major global players of the world. India is more diplomatically connected. India is obviously bilateral trade. They have huge trade with the, even America, nearly 140 billion, and we only have hardly 10. So I think they find India more relevant. So it's Pakistan becomes the easy prey for them. I think it's a recycled hide because this is not new. It's for almost now and then we keep hearing this that Pakistan is labeled as an irresponsible country. What I'm trying to say, you also please appreciate another aspect that most of the lobby in America is being controlled by Zionist segments. There is hardly any president who can claim that I came to power without the support of the Zionist lobby or the Jewish lobby. They have been very, very open in criticizing Pakistan. And let me also tell you, when I was a young fighter pilot, I was detailed for a duty for a couple of years to protect our nuclear plant, which is close to Kahuta. I was doing that duty for a number of years. We had to obviously challenge any incoming strike on our nuclear plant, obviously. Now it's no more relevant because we've gone nuclear and the things are dispersed now and there is no one focus. But in those days, it was the only laboratory where Dr. A.Q. Khan and other scientists were working. And when I was doing that duty, obviously in the briefing, we were told by higher ups that we could have threat from not one, two countries. And you, such as senior journalist, you would know which two countries, Israel and India, obviously. They have been after our nuclear plant last 45 years. There's nothing new. And there have been a huge lobby in obviously America, which continues to portray Pakistan as an irresponsible, and they keep talking as Islamic bomb. You recall Islamic nuclear bomb. The Hindus have it. They don't talk about Hindu nuclear bomb. The Christians have it. They don't talk. Even the Jews have it. It's only the Islamic bomb that they talk about. That itself tells you a lot that so many biasism has probably crept into this. They could be possible because this time there is a huge frustration, especially in Israel. What we have, the kind of positive role that we played, obviously, that makes them uncomfortable. The more relevant become, they think that they become irrelevant or less relevant. They have suffered a huge embarrassment after attacking Iran, obviously. So they have to have something for you and me, people like media, that they sit every day. What should we be discussing when? Because when the war is over, everybody will, person like me who's a student of strategy or air power, will like to dissect or do the postmortem of Iran Israel America war. And I think they're trying to build another story that the moment war is over, they should be a deflection of the media, because media is obviously hungry for news and something to obviously deliberate every day. So I think this could be a casus belli. They could be making up a pre-planned a kind of conspiracy kind of thing, or pre-plan of design, that when the war is over, the world should start to draw their attention to this. I think it could be a series of further allegations on Pakistan. You see, denuclearization is too late. once you, I keep telling people, it's like if I know how to cycle, I would always know how to cycle. You can't tell me, if you, even if you beat me, you can't make me forget cycling. So it's a nuclear technology which comes, and it has come, alhamdulillah. And it came on a time, and I'm sure people at Pakistan must have realized how difficult circumstances were for those leaders, obviously, who went through the nuclearization process, obviously, how difficult and challenging would have been, how difficult it is for Iran these days. So I think it's more that you cannot do the denuclearization to Pakistan, obviously, unless the India also does the same thing. It cannot be you can take on one country and ask them, us to denuclearize. That's not a possibility unless we have, obviously, both countries doing. Hypothetically, I'm not saying that this is a suggestion or I'm agreeing to it that India goes denuclearize and we also go. I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying unless that, it's not even negotiable. I request you to add even the frequent visits of US ambassador in Delhi to the military headquarters of Indian Army. He was taken to the Western Command. The Western Command, I must remind your viewers, is the one which took on Pakistan in May 2025, which is responsible for obviously generating those efforts. He was made to visit these areas. He was given a thorough brief on the May 2025, and obviously trying to build a confidence in the mind and hearts of President Trump, because he keeps telling that 8 brand new beautiful aircraft or 11 aircraft were shot down. I think they're trying to make ground through the ambassador that obviously they were trying to portray India as victorious. So I think it's not standalone, the Israeli ambassador, it's American ambassador in India also. He has been very, very close to, although he's probably just came in January to this assignment, but he's been taken to many places and he's been given a lot of confidential briefings on how India has performed and what are the future plans of India. So I think connivance of both countries is visible and should be noticed and tracked. I think let there be no misunderstanding or misleading data gathering about Pakistan. Pakistan is a declared nuclear state, cannot be like Iran. I'm not looking down on Iran, but I'm saying they were in the process of making the nuclear enrichment. We are a nuclear capable country. So I think let there be no doubt about Pakistan's capability and especially the resolve. Let me also add here that India has been trying to make Pakistan sign no first use agreement. No first use is the agreement where you sign that my country will not be able to or will not fire the first nuclear weapon. Pakistan has not signed that. And it is because of that, because we could be the first nuclear using country. Why? Because if our survival is at stake, obviously, why should we be the second to hit back? We could be the first one if our survival. That is what I'm trying to link with that. India, because knows that, God forbid, Pakistan suffers any kind of loss where it is compelled to use the nuclear weapon, it could be the first country to use. India has been trying to pursue the international lobby that Pakistan should be made to sign the no first use capability. But Pakistan has a very justifiably and very rightly not signed no first use agreement, because there could be an occasion that our survival is threatened and we might have to go as first use country. I think it'll be wrong in case we continue to perceive and live in a euphoric condition, saying that America has all time been our friend and it'll always be our friend. All these superpowers countries, they act in their own national interest. They obviously selectively choose when our national interests converge. Obviously, they'll value you. And then when the national interest is not common, obviously, they make side. Obviously, they get on one side. You saw that Indian Prime Minister Modi's visit. You saw that especially President Trump has allowed India to purchase Russian oil. It was done by obviously the effort of Netanyahu, I heard. And on top of that, you saw that President Trump, while he was obviously trying to bully the Indian government, especially Prime Minister Modi, over the tariff and buying oil from Russia, extended the defense agreement, which was already there last 20 years, extended for another 10 years. This happens. I think we should not be misled that friendship with America means America's enmity with India. That does not happen. These superpowers, they use their relations as arm twisting, as coercion method. They obviously coerce you using taking side on one and obviously putting you under pressure. We can only be friend to America, and I hope we continue to remain friend of America, and our national interest continue to converge. God forbid if the national interests do not converge with America. Obviously, we have seen in the past America backing off from our support, not one time, many times. The stark example is the Soviet Union here in Afghanistan from 79 to almost 89, and we were the front runners. We were supporting Mujahideen. We got 40 F-16 to fight Russian jets then, and we shot down 9 of the Russian jets then Soviet Union, of course. And we were the active player. And the moment 1989, the Soviet Union went off, this is the time America thought and realized that we are into a nuclear proliferation program. For 10 years, the American president had been giving waiver to us that Pakistan is not involved in the nuclear proliferation, because unless the president gives the non-nuclear proliferation certificate, we could not be given the military hardware and supplies and these jets. So in their own interest, for 10 years, American president continued to issue this certificate to us. And right very next day, when the Soviet Union went back and later disintegrated, the sanctions were imposed on us. F-16 spare parts were blocked. $658 million that we had paid for new F-16, they were blocked. Neither aircraft nor the money was given. Rather, we were offered that you all know that Pakistan can take the wheat as an alternate of F-16. Can you imagine? So this is US. I think that the future war that you have almost such a huge experience in the journalism, you agree with me that gone are the time when two countries will fight bullet versus bullet, jet versus jet, tank versus tank. The time has come where the countries will fight the war of narrative, the perception. How do you change the mind of the opponent? How you make the will to fight obviously damaged? This is how the future war is going to be. This itself says the propaganda, the body language that you're saying is that they are trying to signal Pakistan that you could be the next on the screen. I'm not saying for targeting, but at least we will start to closely watch you, that what you're doing. This is putting some up this. Another thing we should not forget: these countries use these tactics selectively when probably they under the table some negotiation may be going on. Pakistan may not be compromising on that, and they bring out that and start to wave like a flag against you. This has been happening in the past also. They suddenly come out says, "Oh, we remember that you are there also," and we thought that you were doing that also. This has been normal. I've been to US a number of times. They were so kind and friendly when obviously Pakistan is converging to their interest, and the things are different when you are on a little bit of development. I think it's a matter of making our point clear to American diplomats, the senior high officials. Obviously, we can show our track record. We can relate to with India. We can show the safety measure that we have on our nuclear enrichment safety and what India has. International agencies have numerous observations against India that their nuclear enrichment material was leaked outside their nuclear plant. Pakistan has never had any problem. So we can show our track record. We can show, in spite of the threat in May, we went only conventional. We went only kinetically, and we did not do anything unconventional, never even threatened. We have enhanced our capability. One thing that world must notice, that if we were trigger happy on the nuclear, we would not enhance our non-nuclear capabilities. We would rather have limited and then declare the world that anybody threatening and we touch this threshold, we go nuclear. We haven't done it ever. We have increased our conventional capability. That itself proves that we are not depending on the nuclear proliferation or the nuclear weapons as a tool of strategy or war fighting. Yes, God forbid, if our survival is stake, and obviously that we are against the wall, that could be the last option that I mentioned in the last question. No, I think very prompt rebuttal has come from the state office. Pakistan says that was needed. Obviously, if you do not pay heat and do not say, then people start to obviously it has snowball effect. Obviously, you already see that Indian media is talking about it. They found another topic to obviously grill Pakistan. So this is a good move by Pakistan to timely respond back. Number one. And I think behind the door, it's not necessary that it should be done through media. Pakistan officials, the diplomats, obviously, and our embassy in Washington should take on the intelligentsia, obviously, and the concerned diplomats to convey our points. And as I said, show our track record that we have a great history of protecting the nuclear weapons. We've not been irresponsible, not even use of nuclear weapons we have threatened ever in the last, what, 40 years since we have started to work on the nuclear program. So I think that itself speaks a lot about it, and more diplomatic and political effort needs to be done. Rather, it has to be continued, because these things will keep coming up as when we become relevant. These people will obviously come up with another flag and start to wave in front of our face.